What up, everybody? This is your boy B Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Rounds with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week, or however you listen to podcasts. If you're a first-time listener, during this time of crisis, fucking stock market's crashing, and goddamn people freaking touching shit and touching their face and touching their ass, then can't wipe it because they ain't got no toilet paper or hand sanitizer and all this stuff. Then bidet prices are going through the roof because everybody's trying to find alternate means to wipe their ass. And through all that Mr. Chaos, I appreciate you giving my show a try for the new listeners. And if anybody recommended you to me, since we are in quarantine currently, Texas is supposed to be coming out next week as we record this. And that's kind of fucking scary. But since we still are under those restrictions, get your social media app of choice and send that person that recommended you to me a well-crafted DM telling them thank you for recommending you to this show. Speaking of social media, you can find this show on many platforms to include Twitter at 3R Show, Facebook at 3R Show. It's not really an at. You can do facebook.com/3R Show. Instagram at the 3R Show. And for anything that I may have missed, because I'm doing all this shit off the top of my head, you can go to randomrob.com and you can find all those things in many different ways to help support the show. Now, got all that bullshit out the way. Joining me once again, a man that has been very, very, very busy during this pandemic, epidemic, extremities. I don't know. You can just say a whole bunch of crazy words in there and sound, like it's a cause for panic. But once again, returning, funny man, busy man, Mr. Dave Temple. How are you, sir?
I'm all right, man. Thanks for having me back. This is a dope way to spend a Friday night during the pandemic. You know what I mean?
Hey, yeah. Just finished busting some heads in Call of Duty, watched a little bit of SmackDown, and drinking a little Angry Orchard, and here we are, man, just hanging out.
Yeah. Oh, that's not a bad night either, man. Holy smokes, you did it all tonight.
Yeah. I took a nap too, man. I'm enjoying that in my old age.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go down after this.
yeah, man, because you are an hour ahead, so you already in the future and shit. You done seen what's gonna happen already.
Yeah, it's gonna rain. It's gonna rain.
Why you bullshitting? It's raining over here right now. See, I should have talked to you a couple minutes ago. I could have put my stuff out in the yard, got my stuff out the yard. But man, we was talking a little bit before we started recording proper, and everything. And you have been a busy man. I think you got a book project coming up or coming out. You launched a slew of little different podcast activities and whatnot, from what I've seen on my end. And shit, what else do you have going on? And you probably got some stuff I don't even know about yet.
Everything else is now focusing on the back end of the business, man. Like this, to me, I'm not gonna lie. This quarantine was probably the best thing that ever could have happened to me as a businessman, because it made me, I had to sit in one place for a little while, you know what I mean? And really look at the numbers, it's like, boom, I had to do my taxes, you know what I mean? Really organize my hard drive and set up a media content schedule, you know what I mean? Where there's so much content that I've created over the years where it's just like, okay, I had to get out of my head that everybody's seen it, nobody cares about it anymore. No, that's not the case. I have followers that have just come on board this month that have no idea what I did a year ago. So you need to put together like a schedule. I've worked with a digital marketing provider, and somehow I've taken on employees in the pandemic. Okay. So I'm paying people to edit captions. I'm out here trying to figure out, but in the process of them doing that, I'm able to seek better information. You know what I mean? So like the link that I sent you about tracking down the SBA, the crises loans and stuff like that. It's like I have a better opportunity now as a businessman to go and actively seek things that are going to make me grow. You know what I mean? And kind of started to automate some of those other processes, like being on social media and making sure that you're tweeting and engaging and all that kind of stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the most taxing part of the day, man, because, I've said this many a times, and, it's just like you're saying. I mean, it's not like that we're repeating ourselves or spamming out the same content. It's just that there's new potential listeners or followers are out there that don't know this stuff. So, I mean, a lot of people that stick around and hang around for a while or whatever, they might see the same thing, once or twice. But I mean, it's not for them. It's for the new people. But that Twitter shit, man, it's just, I'm at work 12 hours a day. Then I'm expected to tweet and engage with people as well. I mean, I try to do that as best as I can. But the automation joints that you talk about, they really, really help out. Because I can schedule from the time I get up to the time I can have a lunch break. And then, I can check in on it.
Well, actually, when I say I automated, I hired my daughter.
True. I mean, that'll keep it fresh as well.
She's a teenager. I looked at her like, yo, you're always... How much does it cost to make those thumbs work for me? You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, let's get it that way.
And it's the family business. I mean, and you teach them a trade early.
Yeah, if you're gonna be on here, do something. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I look at my kid or whatever, because she's grown up into the age of this technology that we have now, to where she got the hey guy voice. You know what that is?
Oh yeah, hey guys. Yeah,
hey,
they all talk like YouTubers.
Hell yeah. So she be sitting there. And matter of fact, case in point, we was in here, we was playing old school Xbox. We're playing Burnout. And we driving and everything. And she just commentating the whole goddamn match. She's like, oh, I'm going to turn and I'm going to come over and blow up this thing right here. And I was like, yeah, I need to put a camera in front of you.
Yeah. So, and I can't be mad at mine for doing it also, because I realized I've spent most of her life yelling into the abyss that is the internet. You know what I mean? She's always seen me yelling into a phone, editing videos, making things happen. So, I mean, I've been looking at it this way, maybe about 2 years now, or going on 2 years. She watched me do that. That started off in my older daughter's bedroom, and then finally moved into a studio that I started to build in the basement. Unpopular opinions has been a thing that I've been doing Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 o'clock. This is a fun thing. We're taking late night back, the Adult Swim portion of the comedy channel here, where, I invite the users, just come in. Me and my partner, we ran for about 30 minutes about some unpopular opinions. We usually map out some topics. Like our first episode we hashed out, was Wu-Tang good or were they just cool? You know what I mean? And my man, he had some pretty valid points that he's like, it's just 9 guys that are really cool. They're really not that good. And, it's an unpopular opinion. But, you know what I mean? We're hashing that kind of stuff off and taking people's minds off of Corona, man. We don't want to talk about Corona no more. We just want to have fun and be idiots on the internet. But 11:30, I'll open up the request to anybody in the room that wants to go live with me. Run through. They got 5 minutes to state their unpopular opinion, back it up with some facts. It's no judgment zone. We just let them rock out. What do you got to say? You know what I mean? And it's been real fun. So.
Yeah. I mean, that I could have jumped on that Wu-Tang debate, because I mean, the only one recognizable to me, I mean, I know the names, but the only one that stand out to me is motherfucking Method Man. He's the one that kind of transcended the group.
Because he was so cool. It's so cool, yeah.
He parlayed that into How High, and then he was on SVU and all these other shows, movie roles, and all kind of junk, man. He the one that actually took it and ran with it. Yeah,
my friend Conrad said it was their branding. They had the best symbol, and that kind of brand recognition. No one in rap had that. Gangstar, EPMD, none of them had a logo like that W that just made them stand out,
Matter of fact, in my closet right now, I just wore it the other day because it got cold out here. I got a sweater, black, got the W on there instead of Wu-Tang and say Wakanda. I rock the shit out of that. That shit is fly as hell.
Yeah.
And then I'm a professional wrestling fan too. They got that same black shirt, got the W, but it say woo like Ric Flair.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, they symbol is just like all over the place, man. And it's great marketing.
Yeah. And that's what it was.
Definitely shit, because like the shirt that I made, the one that says random, but it looks like the Doom letters from the game. I mean, that's the most popular thing I have, because, I mean, people recognize it. Oh, that's from Doom. This shit tight.
Yeah. And they just go, yeah.
But like with you was talking about editing content and everything. Well, what I just seen, I don't know how long you had that though, but it's new to me. From your comedy special, we talked about it last time you was on here, and you had people actually doing skits off your some of your material from your comedy special.
Yeah. So that was on the show Laugh Mob Laugh Tracks. And yeah, we would they just canceled that also. They're not gonna do season 3.
Ooh.
But they we had the clip and the people would reenact the clip. And my digital marketing, I don't even know what the hell you call it. I don't want to call it just my social media girl, but
Your digital
she
marketing.
pushed me.
Yes.
She pushed me to TikTok. She pushed me. I was like, I didn't want to go to TikTok. I don't want to be on TikTok. I'm an adult. I'm not going to be on here dancing. And she's like, trust me, you do not have to dance.
Oh, no.
Comedy does very well on TikTok.
Yeah,
and
if I wasn't using my phone to record myself right now, I was going to go follow your shit right now.
but I started posting stand-up clips on there, and they went nuts. You know what I mean? I'd never seen anything like that before. Like, I think the first clip we posted, it did like 69,000 views. You know what I mean? And it was like 29,000. And I'm like, get out of here. Is this real? Like, and to be honest with you, I have the healthiest relationship with TikTok because I don't care about it. It's not something, I don't follow anybody. I don't even go into the thing. The girl posts a video once a day. We chop them up into 1-minute blocks. So I decided to start sharing those 1-minute blocks on social media, also on the other platforms. I'm sorry, TikTok is social media. That's how much I don't care about it.
I mean, but it is convenient though, because you can put those clips on there, and they have the option to share it to multiple platforms, and it makes it that much easier to share.
I've never done those kind of numbers on any other platform. I've never reached 69,000 views in a 1-minute clip within 24 hours. It was absolutely insane. So, one of the things that I'm working on now with my special, the second one, which I was working with a production company that was supposed to edit and chop this thing up for me, and then the quarantine happened. And I lie to you not, this guy cannot figure out how to get his life going with his kids in the house. Like, I followed up with the guy twice, like, where are we at? And he's just like, I don't even know what the hell is going on. He's like folding under the pressure. So I'm going to have to find a new editor. And we'll go from there. But I have an idea that I think, depending on, how much I can get this thing done for, I think it's never been done before, Rob. I think I'm just going to animate the whole special. A cartoon. It's never been done before. And I realize at this point with comedy, you have to do something that has never been seen for people to go, is that that cartoon special? They'll know the cartoon special before they know my name, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, and again, it sounds bad, but might release it, 1 minute at a time on TikTok. Those are the people who share everything. I watched that. What was that challenge that they were just doing? The Wiz Khalifa song, and everybody was dancing. Something new challenge.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what.
Baby, give me something. That song is from 2017.
Yeah, but what I seen the most recent was, they got so many goddamn versions of that video, but they had the one with the little kid on there. He gave his brother a 2-piece in the back of the head.
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious.
But that kind of distribution where you look at something like a song that we didn't even know existed 3 years ago, and it could go from nothing to 12 million views on YouTube, and all of a sudden out of nowhere there's all these royalties and residuals coming in. So it kind of gives you an idea that the kids are definitely future, you know what I mean? And you got to kind of market towards them, I get it. Us grown folks, we're busy, I
got property taxes and all this other bullshit to worry about. I ain't ticking no talking. Yeah, but I mean, I have a TikTok as well. I don't post shit to it. I use the account to save the TikToks that I like. Matter of fact, today I found it's just interesting. I ain't never seen nothing like this, anywhere. Dude is in shopping shopping plazas, parking lots, and stuff like that, harassing people. I mean, you can call it harassment, but he is hounding people to put their carts back in the cart carrier. Instead of leaving their carts out in the parking lot and all between the spaces and shit, he is chasing motherfuckers down. Hey, put your carts back in the cart carrier. Put your carts back. And he putting bumper stickers on their cars saying, put your cart back and all kind of crazy shit. And it's just hilarious. I'm gonna try to get that.
And that's it's so weird because it's so simple yet somehow it's so genius that it catches everybody's attention.
Mm-hmm.
People share that. Before we just came on, someone just sent me a text. OJ is now on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
OJ Simpson.
TikTok. I know he was on TikTok.
Yeah, he was great on Twitter. I loved him on Twitter. But he's on TikTok, and his first TikTok is him doing that board in the house, and I'm in the house board. And, I think it's going to be hilarious. I don't think those kids know who OJ is. I think in their mind, they're just going to think this is just some cool old man who knows how to have a good time.
See, and that's the thing with the next generation of kids and whatnot. It's just a lot of this stuff done hit their statute of limitation. So OJ done did all that shit buku years ago. That was when I was in middle school and shit when that happened. So my kids don't know who the fuck OJ Simpson is. So just like you said, they're going to see him doing some crazy shit on TikTok. They'll be like, oh, man, OJ's the best. And I'm like, whoa. Hold on. See that conversation right quick. Let me pull you to the side about only OJ is good in this house is this orange juice in the fridge. But I mean, his Twitter game though is just like he don't even post tweets. I don't think he just do all videos.
Yeah. Which I only follow him. I don't follow him on Twitter, but I only go to Twitter. I go to his Twitter when I need a good, like a reset. Like it's not a laugh. It's when I need to understand humanity, I look at the comments in OJ's Twitter. So OJ will just post, hey guys, opening season today. I hope this guy has a great week. I hope that guy has a great week. And it's just 500,000 comments. You murderer, you piece of shit. Some people are posting pictures of Nicole's bloody carcass on the kitchen floor. And you go like, yeah, that's humanity. Like everybody has a really, really dark side and everyone thinks that they're righteous. You know what I mean? And they're not. They're out of their goddamn minds. Like someone has Nicole's bloody carcass saved in their camera roll so that when OJ tweets, they can go to it and post that in the comments.
Let me tell you about my little slice of humanity as it pertains to OJ Simpson. The day after it happened, I was in California. And my sister woke us up ass early the very next morning. And we drove to Los Angeles to go take pictures in front of OJ house.
Wow.
So I have pictures of me as a little kid in my daggone black and white Adidas, a freaking sleeveless little shirt and some high ass shorts above my knees. Just mean faced in the motherfucker standing in front of OJ house, just taking pictures. I mean, to be there in person is just, damn, it was crazy. I mean, I was a little kid. I didn't give a fuck about what the hell was going on. I didn't really have the understanding of what was going on. I just know something bad happened and OJ was involved with it, And he did not live far from her at all.
Right.
We went from his house to Nicole Brown's house, and the tape was still there, blood still on the ground, on the fence, and all that other crazy shit. And my sister got pictures of all this shit, so it's just crazy that shit happened. And the very next morning, I was in the car to go see the shit,
Right.
As a middle schooler, like I give a fuck about some OJ shit.
Man, yeah, I don't know.
That's how my sister was. I mean, I think, because she married a military man, and, I think that was like the best time of her life or whatever, because she liked to go places and do all this stuff. And for her to be in California, be that close to something like that, I mean, it just blew her fucking lid off. It was just fucking crazy. I got pictures
Where did she grow up?
Cleveland.
Wow, maybe she was starving for it. You know what I mean? Like,
Louisiana, where I'm from. You know what I mean, there's a lot of back and forth. I mean, she's way older than me, so I didn't even grow up with her in the house. I mean, she might have
Right.
babied me when I was a little child, but like, growing up and having actual memories or whatever. I mean, like she was never in the house. I mean, because she's that much older than me.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, shit. As long as I was alive and like in school age and shit, she was married to that guy in the military, and they would go from base to base and everything. And it was just I would go visit, in Kentucky and California, Florida, all these different places and stuff. But California, I think, was the best because Los Angeles is right there. We got pictures in Vegas with like Shaquille O'Neal, Cuba Gooding Jr., all kind of crazy shit. Because we would walk around the MGM looking for motherfuckers to take pictures with and shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's the weird thing that I guess it's a fun thing to do when you go to another city. Like I was so disappointed that that Skankfest that got canceled because I was looking forward to coming down to Houston. I wanted to just walk around. I had booked a day early and a day later just to walk around. Like the fact that I found out that like Scarface was running for city council. Like I just need to see that banner in person. You know what I mean? I just wanted to walk and hopefully I'll still get down there in September. I think that's when they're rescheduling it for September. But yeah, I'll probably be doing the same thing. Just walking around, looking at stuff, just so excited to see mundane things in another city.
Dude, that shit blew my mind to see his picture like for a freaking the campaign photos and stuff. It had Brad Scarface in parentheses Jordan or whatever his last name, and I was just like, why would you? I mean, granted, you from Houston, you here, you have a base here in Houston. I mean, everybody knows who you are, but I mean, really, you running for some kind of office or something? Why would you put Scarface on your marketing materials? I mean, it just blew my fucking mind.
Because it's the Obama effect. It'll pull in a bunch of voters that it didn't pull before. That's it. It's just is your fan base big enough to get you in? You know what I mean?
Because I think his partner in Ghetto Boys, Willie D. I think he was running for some kind of position here too as well.
Yeah, that lets you know they must have got some real money. You get real money, you start caring about things like local politics,
Oh yeah, and then I mean, man, that's what it's all about, though. I mean, you see a disparity in your community or whatever, and if you can get in the position to really inflict change, I mean, why not go for it?
Right, yeah.
Shit. And Houston has so much support for their artists, man. It's just like I grew up in Louisiana. That's why I was born and raised at. But I did not know how much of Houston's music culture has influenced my childhood. It's just I first moved here in 2016 and I turned on the local radio station and they was just playing my whole childhood on the goddamn radio. I was like, God damn. And then just like every other day, it's just like one of them guys is on the radio. Slim Thug, Paul Wall, Lil Flip, Scarface, somebody, from here. Because they big up their artists. They really support their artists here. And they artists do a lot for the community too.
Used to be that way in New York. That's what they say. Rosenberg changed all of that. Once Rosenberg started playing, giving more down south music play on Hot 97, it was over for New York rappers.
Word. Shit, I remember the game talking about that. You better come up with a dance if you want to get some radio play.
Man. And that's the scary part of, even for my line of work with comedy, you got people now that are, been doing more skits online to put something together. And I get it. It gets the views, but I don't know how it equates to. I don't know. I don't fully understand that model, and that's something that I don't want to do. I don't want to fall down on the ground and be silly in order to get likes and you start getting extreme. I saw this one kid recently took a firecracker, put it under his eyelid and lit it, and he and his friend, I got you, and his friend cuts the thing off, but it's like. This guy, he's always on here pouring bleach on his face and all kinds of weird stuff like that to get likes and views.
Oh,
I don't want to go that far, bro.
Is that the kid that always wearing like the Supreme headband or some crazy shit like that?
No, but I know the kid you're
Yeah.
talking about. There's like a white kid with a lot of acne, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, that dude be
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
all that stuff too.
Is
He
he
be,
still alive? I don't know. I might give him a look up once I get done here. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of stuff, so I mean,
I
it's
know, and that's the thing that sucks so bad about it because they have to work that hard to get on your radar, and you're
mhm.
still not checking for them. You just kind of go, oof, that's a damn shame. But that lets you know how hard it is to get noticed in this
Yeah.
world, man.
I mean, and once you get noticed, I mean, it's one thing to get noticed, but when you get noticed, it's hard to kind of stay in that position and whatnot. Because I mean, anybody can be a flash in the pan. I mean, I can get on TikTok one day and say, booga booga, and it'll get 100 million likes and shit, and then damn, what I'm gonna do next, you know?
Yeah, and hopefully, but I think that might be the healthiest thing. Get you a little bit of it, experience the love and experience the hate of being that famous, and then you can go like, "Whew, okay, I dodged the bullet on that one." You know what I mean? Like I feel like getting 15 minutes of fame is like getting the hottest girl in high school to have sex with you in the car. You get it once and that's it.
Yeah.
You go to college, come home. She's got 4 kids. She's way heavier than she used to be, and you're like, "Holy smokes, I dodged the bullet there." You know, I
Yeah.
remember thinking I wanted to marry that girl. Like, nah, you don't want to marry that girl.
No, that was the lust talking.
I think it's the same thing with fame and show business, man. It's just some lust. It's lustful.
Yeah, because I mean, we look at a lot of this skit stuff. I didn't really see too much of it until really Kevin Hart started blowing up because he had he made the app, and then they start taking his freaking comedy clips and making skits out of them, and then
Oh yeah.
and it started going off from there. Which I mean, I think that's freaking cool because I mean, it's acting. You know, I try to lip sing in the car and I can't get the words right most of the time. But for them to daggone pantomime a whole skit like that, like how they did yours and his, I mean, that's freaking talent.
Yeah, it's fascinating. So the way we do that is we record a show with an actual live audience, and then when we go to reenact the story, we play back the audio from the show on a monitor, so that everyone in the scene can hear what's going on and react to it. It's multiple takes, a lot of
Yeah,
takes, but when you get it and you land it right, it comes out to be a beautiful thing.
yeah. So I mean, you already mapping it out for the next one?
No, not for that level of like act out. I think my goal would be the video, that footage that we did get of the special.
Mm-hmm.
There is a page on YouTube that I like to check out. It's called Sight and Sound, or Sketch and Sound. And this guy took Dave Chappelle's special
Mm-hmm.
and animated it. So he basically animated Dave, and you can see a cartoon Dave on the same stage and everything. But I recognize, like, this looks good. This
Mm-hmm.
looks really good. You know what I mean? Anybody would look at this because an adult can look at this and still get the humor.
Yeah.
And then a child can look at it and not necessarily get the humor or understand it, but they're drawn to it because it's a cartoon.
Colors and pictures.
Right. And there's a positive association because the adults are smiling and laughing at it. So, you know what I mean? You become the focal point of, oh, whatever this is, brings me joy. Like, when I was a kid, I didn't understand all of the subject matter that
Mm-hmm.
was going on in Eddie Murphy's stand-up. But the adults seem to enjoy it, so I enjoy it too. You know what I mean? As I got a little older, I'm like, holy smokes, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, I can remember being younger, man, and some of my sister and brother would be in there. They'd be watching Def Comedy Jam, and they just be in there cackling and laughing. I'd be like, ha ha ha! What'd he say?
Yeah, I remember being terrified of adult relationships. When I think we talked about this the last time I was on the show, seeing Martin Lawrence, You So Crazy, his first stand-up special.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about like, being in a relationship and like the whole like the woman tell you she got to take a shit before y'all have sex and she
Yeah,
got doo-doo balls all in the sheets and stuff like that. I remember being scared to death. Like, is this real? Like, is this a real thing that happens? Because everyone that is in the room dying laughing. And I remember being petrified. Like, I don't want to deal with that.
I don't want no doodle balls in my bed. Yeah, I mean, and then a lot of that stuff, looking at it when I was younger or whatever, it made you learn. It's just like they'd be talking about all that nasty shit and those relationship stuff, and then you'd be like, I get a girlfriend or whatever. Out here I am like 14, 15 years old or whatever. And I'm like, so is you gonna put doo-doo crumbs in my bed?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
So hopefully, I think the message in this next special, the second one, whenever this thing comes out, when we come off of this pandemic, at least I'm hoping that it'll give a message to young people to compromise in your relationship, but have a good, healthy understanding of what marriage and a relationship is going to be. Like,
Yeah.
I spoke basically very honestly as a man who had been in a 10-year relationship. You know what I mean? As far as what it was. It's very relatable. It's very funny. My lady actually broke up with me the next day as a result of being at this taping, and she just like, I don't want to be the focal point of your humor or like the punchline of your bit. And I'm like, whoa, but it's I stand behind what I say. So I don't know. I was thinking about marketing as the special that ended my relationship, but I think that's way too
Wow.
harsh. And it might
No.
not be all the way over, but
Hey, I mean, put it on the rocks. There you go. That's the subtitle. Dave Temple on the rocks. I don't know, man. I mean, it's a story as old as time. Daggone comedians go up there and they give a bit of their life or whatever, man. They tell what they've been through and whatnot. And, for, I don't know. I mean, for you to hide that, I don't know. It's just.
Well, that's what everybody does, man. Everybody hides, and it's fascinating. That's the one thing I can say has been fascinating about social media is people are getting stir crazy to the point they can't even hide who they are on social media. Mm-hmm. So you're seeing a lot of these disheveled human beings come on and share their darkest humor. You know what I mean? And to me, it's funny because I've always been explaining, you guys all had that in you. You know what I mean? It takes you being in the house for 5 weeks for you to finally admit, like, yeah, I really don't like showering. I eat whatever I want. You know what I mean? No, I don't. I don't always look great when I come out of the house, and I don't give a fuck. And it's like, yeah, there you go. Lean into that. That's what we wanted. That kind of honesty from day one. You know what I mean? I like that the quarantine has forced a lot of people to be honest about what they look like. You can't get to a barber, can't get to a hairdresser. This is who you are now. So deal with it,
Yep, and it also started like 38,000 more podcasts.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is the thing. This is like your New Year's resolution. I'm gonna get in the gym. Everybody there January 1st, but we're gonna see who's gonna be there at the end of February, March.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing that's been fascinating is, and I want to get this out as much as possible that I have my opening joke on this special is me saying that I wanted coronavirus to be big. I want it to be big. I wanted to knock out 65% of the population so that the rest of us can focus and get better. And my reference point was I said human beings are bored. A week prior to this, the day that I recorded this special, we were balancing broomsticks on social media. So we were bored. We needed something to do. And any pandemic that's ever happened in humanity, Black Plague, anything that's wiped out that 60, 70% of the population, the 30% that stuck around, they got so focused and made the biggest advancements in humanity because they had to, Yeah. So when I go to the track, in the morning and get some exercise, and it's daily. Week 1, before the pandemic, I was always at the track by myself. maybe
Yeah.
1, 2 other people. Week 1, you started to see it went to maybe 5 or 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
Week 5, now the track is swelling every morning around 10:30, and it's become a thing. Now, it's not the entire neighborhood, but it's a percentage of the neighborhood that's getting their shit together.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are still in the house. They're like, fuck it. They're not even showering. They're not even going to get out of the bed. They're not going to do nothing.
Hell
That
yeah.
is the dead weight that we kind of got to get rid of a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, hey, go ahead, sit in the house and die a slow death, man. But the people who, in my opinion, are kind of going to ignore this lockdown, those are the people who are going to figure out, like, oh, okay, we kind of do whatever we want. You know what I mean? And let everybody else who's kind of susceptible to that stay in the house and be taken advantage of. They get their little rations of unemployment, stimulus here and there. And they think that that's enough to sustain life. And they'll be fine. They'll be batteries for the rest of us,
Word. Shit, man. I got that. Well, I didn't get that shit because daggone, I'm married. So when we do taxes, that money we get back, I just put it in her account. I don't even worry about it. I mean, she'll do what she'll do with it. I know she'll take care of us and whatever. I mean, that's how I feel about tax money and whatnot. So
Right.
I'm at work, and people at work were talking about, yeah, man, I got my money. I was like, okay. So I text my wife. I was like, everybody at work talking about they got them Trump books and whatnot. And she's like, yeah, we got it. I was like, okay, how much we get? We get that like 1,200 or whatever. She's like, we got more than that. I was like, oh, all right, cool. And then we went to Walmart the next day and balled it up.
I saw that. I saw your clip on Walmart. Your cart was stacked higher than usual. Is that what that was about?
Yeah, man. It was just like we just went fortified and whatnot. We filled up the freezers and whatnot. So if we had to stay in the house, we'd be good to go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, normally you kind of just walking around the aisles with 1 or 2 things in your hand doing the rambling with Rob.
Yeah.
I saw your story the other day. That cart was...
Look. So she know I do that shit, right? So as soon as we get in there, the people clean the cart off or whatever, and I give it a little double tap of sanitizer and wipe the handles off again. And she's like, give me the cart and you go do what you do. I was like, yes, ma'am. So I go run off down the aisles and shit, because I'm putting some shit together in the house, because that's been a thing for me. It's just like I'm stuck in this motherfucker. Now I got to make home improvements and shit. So then I had to replace a handle on the sink faucet. Damn, I'm in here pouring masonry and concrete in the garage and shit and building my studio. And just all kind of other random ins and odds and whatnot. So I'm over there in the paint section looking for caulk and all kind of other crazy shit, because I just recently hung a TV, and I wanted my shit to be fly. I wanted to look at the TV and just have the TV, no wires hanging down, looking all raggedy and shit. So I'm drilling holes in the wall, pulling wire out through the bottom, and I fucked up my measurement. So my hole in the top where the cords go down and the hole on the bottom where the whole cords come out, they don't line up. So I had to wind up making 2 holes.
Another hole.
So I got 1 hole that's on the damn support beam. Then I got another hole in the right place. So now I got to freaking paste this one up and caulk over that bitch. So I'm over there getting the tools and the utensils for that. And then when I come back, that cart is like leaning to one side. I'm like, oh shit. And then she played me slick. So she left the cart there. She went over down the aisle, found something, and she's like, come on. Well, what you mean, come on? You wanted the cart. You pushed this motherfucker. So now I'm pushing. And that's how I got that big motherfucker. She duped me into it.
Yeah, that's what they do, man. They dupe you. They pressed me for a pet during this pandemic. Now, when it first started, I was sick. I don't know whether I had the Rona or something else, but I took myself down in the basement office and quarantined myself for a few days until I was better. And during one of those days, my daughter comes downstairs with a composition book, and she goes, Daddy, I just want to read something to you. And she had a 2-page story that she had written out about why I should let them get a cat. You know what I mean? And
That's
yeah,
your doing right there. Be like,
that's my doing.
yeah, you seem like the type of person be like, hey, Dad, can I have this? Why do you need to have this? I need you to explain to me why you need to have this. If you can convince me that, this is a good idea, I'll let you have that. That seems like you're doing to me.
I just need to know. You're probably right. Now, my thing is, I just need to know how is this going to not be my responsibility.
Exactly.
I'm a responsible man. In fact, I'm so responsible that I run from all responsibility now as an adult. That's how responsible I am, Like, I know what it meant to be the manager at a retail store. Nah, I don't want your keys. For $3,000, I am not becoming your store snitch. You understand what I'm saying? Like, nah, I don't want that. So yeah, that's the thing. When people say they want to do, I just don't want anything else on my plate,
Exactly.
But yeah, apparently I had agreed to a cat, and we ended up with a Corona cat. Like, they literally went out and adopted a cat during the pandemic, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why would you bring another mouth to feed and something else to vaccinate and do all of that? But that's what ladies do, man. They come from the emotional, and then they just manipulate you, and they're going along with it,
Yeah, I got lucky on that cat shit because damn, the youngest one is allergic. I was like, yes. And I hate cats too, so fuck them.
Yeah, I don't want to be shooing some animal out of my plate and out of my cups and all that, and scratching stuff up, throwing up all over the place. I hate it.
Yeah, and then we might look into an animal like a dog next year sometime or whatever. But I had only one dog in my life, and that I got rid of it in 2016. And that's because I separated from the military, and we didn't have nowhere to, transport it and put it up when we moved down here to Houston. So I wound up back to the person that I got it from and whatnot. They got it in a good home and everything. But that was my dog. That was the only dog I personally ever had. Because, I mean, we had animals growing up, and stuff, but that wasn't my dog. It was just kind of like, here. We had a chow. You know what a chow is, right? Chow chow?
Yeah, with the purple tongues.
Yeah, big Afro dog.
Uh-huh.
Damn, this bitch just stayed in the cage. We ain't do shit with that dog. We ain't play with it. We ain't walk it. Just in the cage in the backyard. I just run out there and throw some food in the daggone bowl and then go back in the house. That's not a freaking animal. That's a zoo attraction.
Yeah.
And then, dogs previous to that, it was just like a dog in the backyard on a leash and whatnot. My mom didn't want to have the animals in the house. So my brother had a fucking Cocker Spaniel. That's not an outside dog. In the backyard on a fucking leash and shit. And that dog hung itself.
Yeah, they do that. Like, they get all wildery up and fall off of like a flight of steps with the thing on them. Collar, right?
I think that because it was an inside dog that was on the outside. I think it couldn't take it no more, and it just took its own life. And then we had this other wild ass dog when I was younger. It was just this big freaking. I couldn't even go on my swing set in the backyard. This motherfucker would run around the swing set and tangle up the chain and shit and chase me down. I'm like, fuck this dog. But this dog that I had, I mean, I had it from a puppy, and I housebroke it as best as I could. I took it out. I taught it tricks. I taught that motherfucker how to fist bump, dog.
Yeah.
I taught him how to fist bump. I'd be like, I put my fist out like that, and you put his on top. I was like, yeah, that was my dog. And man, when I retired, man, I remember all that shit hitting me because it was a whole bunch of emotions, man. It's like something I did for 16 years consecutively, without break, without fail. And I can remember the day I retired, and it was that afternoon. I took the dog back to the people I got him from, and I was like, I don't know, man. Once we get down to Houston, I might make a trip back up here because I had an extra vehicle up there that we couldn't bring down. There's only 2 adults. So I might have to come back up and probably get this car so I can see if I got a place by then. I'll come get back and get the dog. If not, I'll let you know. And dog, that shit was heartbreaking, man. I gave him a little doggy hug and shit. I pet him on the head and I got in the car and I drove off, man. I was tearing up and shit. I was like, my dog.
Wow. Yeah. 16 years though. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot.
Yeah, but now, man, fuck I don't even want no animals no more. Fuck that. I told that story.
You
I got
don't
my
like that it made you feel like a human being. You
exactly
don't want
though.
to go through that again.
Hell nah. I don't want to fuck with none of that shit again, man. Cause kid had a fish in there. She wanted a fish. Wanted a fish. I mean, that's an easy animal to take care of, right? Nah,
No.
nah. I'm the motherfucker take care of that shit. I'm the one changing the filter. I got to pour out freaking 60% of the water. Then I got to put room temperature water in there with the freaking, and then some fucking beta fish, so it can only be one fish in the damn tank. And they got to have special water and salt and all this other bullshit. And I got to measure this off like I'm a goddamn chemist or some shit.
Way
And
too much work, yeah. And they always try to pass it off as, here, take this fish for your kid. Like, okay, this kid, there's no way this kid's gonna be able to figure out all of that. You know that.
nah, came my shit. We had hamsters before that. I'm chasing hamsters behind the dresser and shit and fucking putting hay in the goddamn thing. One weekend, we was just like, fuck it. We poured all the hamster food in the goddamn cage and we left for the weekend. Just fuck it. They'll figure it out. We came back and one of the hamsters ate the other hamster. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, which is a fascinating thing that I think they do to help out. Like, it's literally like, come on, man, I would do it for you. Come on, kill me, man. Kill me. I don't want to live like this, brother. Because, like, gerbils do that. Like, if they're born in captivity, the mom will just eat the babies, like, right away. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't think she wants her gerbils to grow up like that.
Yeah. See, it's just like that Cocker
So
Spaniel.
for all you women living in the projects, take heed. Start drowning your babies in the bathtub. No, I'm just playing.
Please be playing. Man, you see, because I was gonna make a slavery joke or whatever, but I just kept it rolling. Yep. But man, it's so. I mean, you didn't stack so much on your plate during this this break that the nation has had and whatnot. I mean, once we get rolling proper or whatever, I mean, do you have anything else you want to add? Or you just figure you got a good medium right now?
I think that I don't think comedy is going to come back the way we want it to anytime soon.
Yeah.
I just don't see it being a luxury. I see a lot of people who even had the money to come out and support comedy like that won't be anxious to return to work and work themselves to death and won't have it on and then to come to a club on the weekend. But even the rich people, I don't see them being comfortable coming into a room like that and hanging out. I think the media has done such a good job of scaring the shit out of everybody. I mean, I got neighbors that don't even speak anymore over simple shit like, you're outside without a mask. Yeah, I'm in my fucking yard. You know what I mean? What do you want? You should have a mask on. It's like, you're being weird. Like, you know what I mean? You don't know. You just saw something on TV and you're going crazy. You're going to wear a mask in the yard with your girlfriend or with your wife. That's retarded. You know what I mean? But I don't know what channels they're watching that makes them behave that way. People, I get it. We're doing social distancing. So if I'm jogging and you're coming up the street, I'm going to move out of your way to the side. Yeah. But if I wave, you just still wave back. I'm still a person. I'm still a human being. You know what I mean? But somehow that's gone. Like, we're not seeing each other as people. So I don't think it'll be everybody sees each other as a threat. I don't think we're going to be back in spaces for a while. So I think social media and distributing content is going to be the way to go for the future. So, my biggest thing, last time we talked, I had this book that I wrote that I wanted to make sure I got out. I was working with some literary agents over at Penguin Publishing and Random House and, shopping for a deal on this book. And now all of that has fallen apart. So I've made more of an attempt. Well, let's put this out independently. Let's produce this book independently. And, I want to show, my followers and anybody else along this journey how it can be done, that we have a chance to establish ourselves and that the playing ground is level. So with my album was self-produced. Right now I'm running a campaign to tell everybody, send me $1. Send me $1. Watch how just asking for $1, what I'm able to raise to hit my goal. And if they can't send me $1, if everything is literally that tight, you're already on Pandora. You're already on Spotify. Do me a favor, go type my name in and just go stream my album out 2-3 times. And I'll show you, just by me establishing myself, I'm going to be able to create money out of nowhere and use that money to create something else that generates money out of nowhere. I've been reading a lot of books during this pandemic. Some of these books are from 1920. And, you know, when I go make that book purchase, that man's family and his estate, they still get something. And that's what we need to focus on establishing right now. So, you know, the book that I'm coming out with, Influencer, you know, this book is, I think it's the book that we need right now. It's the propaganda. It's about the propaganda on social media where, you know, celebrities are getting people to do things like dance and stuff and, you know, kind of not really pay attention to what they're supposed to be focused on. And a lot of people don't realize there are a lot of influencers who are TikTok famous, YouTube famous, or Instagram famous that are being paid a salary to pump out material and to keep you occupied and glued to the screen so that they can get all your analytics and, you know, push a bunch of ads down your throat. Before you know it, you're trying to buy things that you can't really afford, you know what I mean? And you don't even know why you're doing it, and it's just the propaganda. So, you know, I pay attention to that, and I caught on to what that was, and I navigated that. I think this might be the next great American novel. We just need to get it out to an audience, you know? My Patreon has an advanced copy of it now, which I remember you were asking me about what made me choose Patreon. You were on it for a little while, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's there, but like for me, it's just like, it's there because, you know, it's just another way to support the show. If you got $1, you got $1. Because I mean, I only got 2 tiers. I was like, if you want extra content and all this other bonus shit, you're going to have to pay me for my time. Because as I said previous, I work 12 hours a day. Then I come home, I do stuff like I'm doing with you. We've been chatting it up for about an hour or whatever. Daggone, I got a family here. I got a daggone, you know, if you want me to do extra shit on top of all that shit, you're going to have to pay me, goddammit. But
right.
At the same time, I love doing this shit. So, I mean, I'm still do it. But, I mean, if you want to contribute, you know, help out, I mean, it's just there. I mean, I'm not hard up on it like everybody else or whatever. I mean, you do, you don't.
Right. Well, you're working 12 hours a day, so you can't be hard up. You got money coming in, steady income, an essential worker is what they call you, right?
Yeah, I'm so essential. I'm grateful to be essential. There you go. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. You know, I'm still getting paid and whatnot during these hard times and whatnot. And shit, my wife, the lucky one, she get to work from home and shit and get paid. I'm not that lucky.
Yeah. I think everybody's looking at the grass is always greener. You know what I mean? It's amazing how much you miss a drive to work or, you know, whatever. Just, you know, there's a bunch of things like, what do you think you miss the most right now being on? I'm sorry, I'm always trying to turn into host and interview you, but what do you think you miss the most being on this quarantine?
I mean, nothing has really changed for me. Monday through Friday, I'm still going to work. And, you know, for my family's sake, I'm the only one that goes out to do shit. So, like, if I had to, you know, just go pick up a couple small things, I'm the one that's out in the wild and everything. But what's been cool for me doing this is, you know, I like people watching. You know, I do security. So, I mean, I'm people watching all the time. And what's crazy about this thing, you know, they talk about the virus and stuff, how it's to be transmitted and all this stuff, and it sticks to surfaces and all kind of stuff. I still got dirty motherfuckers that would come to my building. The doors are locked because we only letting a select few in because of what's going on, yada, yada, yada. They would still come put their face and press up against the glass and shit. Mm-hmm. And that shit, you know, I'm like, why? Why would you do that? And then like 10 minutes later, another motherfucker come press his face up against the glass because the door won't fucking open. And I'm like, dude, what are y'all doing out here right now? You know? And then I feel triply mad because the goddamn cleaning lady go out there for like 30 minutes at a time on each pane of glass, cleaning this shit and trying to make it to where birds are flying to this bitch, which they do.
Yeah.
And they come turn around, put their hands and face all on the goddamn glass. And I'm out here for real yelling at these motherfuckers. Like, get your goddamn hands off the glass. Shit pissed me off to no end. They come up there, they push the door. I mean, it's not, and we have signage all over this motherfucker. And I don't know if I told you or whoever else. But here you go. This is the front layout of the building. You want to get inside? There's 8 doors on the front of the building. 8 doors.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them got handles, and 1 of them is locked. So there's only one way inside the building.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of going to the door with 2 handles on it, you got a 50% chance of getting in. 1 is open, 1 is locked. They go to every other fucking door without the goddamn handles on it.
Yeah.
They pushing, they think it's Walmart. They waving their foot at the bottom, thinking they got a sensor that's gonna pop that bitch open. Think it's like a goddamn medicine cabinet. They pushing on. They think it's gonna pop open and shit. And I'm just like, I'm sitting behind this glass because it's tinted. They can't see inside. I can see out, and I'm just like, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah. It's amazing how many people you could put a giant sign in front of them and they walk right by it. You can have a huge sign that says we're closed, and people still gotta walk up, put their hand on it, and say, "You guys closed?" And it's like, yeah, I don't know what we even got the sign for. If we could just stand here and tell everybody one by one.
I mean, and that's what it turns into a lot of the times. It's just like they'll sit there, they'll push the door because they ignored the sign the first time. Doom doom, shit's locked. Okay, they'll look around. Like, the key on the ground or some shit. Then they press the door again. Shit's still locked. Okay. Then they'll see the sign. Okay, they'll read it. And as they're reading it, some of them, they're pushing on the door to see if this bitch will come open.
Yeah, because they're not reading it. They're looking at it, but they're not taking it in. And that's what most Americans do. Most Americans, predominantly adults. Kids are reading a bit more, but adults are in such a go mode that they're not paying any attention. And it's funny to watch a parent do something like that and a kid kind of look up at him and go, "Hey, mommy, the sign says," and they go, oh, okay, and they just move on. But parents, they're gone mentally, dude. Mentally, it's gone.
Yeah, it was interesting about this particular situation. Whatever, you pointed out a couple things, but it's different in this scenario because a lot of these people aren't Americans. So they here illegally, and they bring their kids with them, and their kids are purely there to be the translators and explainers and shit and whatnot.
Yeah.
So those points that you did bring up, they'll come up to the sign and the kids automatically start reading it, and the parent is sitting there pushing on the door like, "Hey!" And the kid's sitting there trying to explain to the parent, in their language or whatever, that, hey, they closed, And it's fucking funny. It's funny.
Yeah, get them acclimated, whatever.
And then I could speak Spanish from my position. So, you drop me off in Little Mexico or whatever, I ain't going to make it. But if you got me on my post where my job is, I could speak Spanish to survive there. So
that's a funny statement. Spanish from my position.
So I go up to them and I speak their language to them. Granted, it's not the best, but it's their language as best as I can give them. And the first thing that fly out their mouth in perfect English is, "I don't speak English."
Yeah, yeah.
I said, "I'm not speaking."
I think that's a class that they take, before they leave Mexico. You know what I mean? It's like, repeat after me. I do not speak English. I do not speak English.
Yeah. And then a lot of them, they come up there with their documents, and on the envelope that a lot of the paperwork is, it says, "I do not speak English." And it's freaking crazy.
It's funny. I just had to coach a friend through a situation like that who got hit. She was pulling out of a parking spot, and somebody came to turn the corner and they hit her. They sideswiped her. And she was like, "Yeah, the police are coming. I'm not 100% sure who's at fault." And I was like, "You just say this. Repeat after me. I got hit. I don't know what happened. I got hit, and I had to explain to her, this will work in your favor. The minute you start saying I was pulling out, or he was coming around the corner and I saw him, you're going to mess it up. Just stick to this, and you can't get in any trouble." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some shit happened to me like that. And then what no, that's not what happened. It's some other bullshit. But I got a truck, brand new truck, 2019 truck, back in May. And hadn't even depleted my first tank of gas, hadn't even had it a whole week yet. And it's the same job, same place we talking about, is out in the parking lot. And we have parking lots by the front doors, and they got trees and shit there. And since it's so close to the building, when people are outside, if we got a lot of people, they line up outside. So since your shit is under the trees and close to the building, motherfuckers like to lean on your shit. So wow. I find that highly offensive, and I don't care what country you're from. I'm pissed. So to remedy that, I took my truck from under there, and they got the whole, I call it the concrete desert. It's just parking lot out there. No trees, just straight sun, parking lot, concrete. Nothing is out there. So I would go park out there in the middle. Only truck I lied. There's 3 trucks out there. I'm the one in the very middle. There's one on the end, and there's one 2 spaces away from me. I go to the gate to let an agent in, and I was like, yeah, you can park anywhere over there. Nothing is there but 3 trucks spaced out, to where a mid-sized vehicle can park long ways in between each of these 3 vehicles. And then I'm not on the front row aligned with these bitches. I'm in the back. So it's like a row, a truck, me on the back row, a truck, and then another truck on the front row. So I moved the gate, he drive in, and I got my back to everything. I put the gate back. Boom. The fuck? I'm looking around. I'm thinking it's on the street. I turn around. This motherfucker back into my truck.
Oh my God.
How? It's in perspective. If you ever been to a Walmart, you know how vast and large that parking lot is. Mm-hmm. Just imagine that large ass parking lot with only 3 vehicles in it, and he hit your shit.
And he found yours, and it's like,
he found my shit. Just back into the
I should be able to revoke your driving privileges for at least a year. At least a year.
But I mean, in hindsight, just reviewing the situation and everything, he was going through some personal shit. Because he was on the phone with somebody, and he was this shit happened, and I guess the weight of whatever he was having that conversation with on the phone, this motherfucker started crying and shit, and I was like,
man. There's nothing more uncomfortable than watching a man go through something and break down and cry in front of you, right? Especially a stranger.
Hell yeah. I was like, okay, but I mean, I understand you going through some shit, but I got my insurance on the phone. You need to talk to your fault.
I'm gonna need for you to pull it together for the next 15 to 20 minutes and just get your information.
Yeah, just tell them you did it, because you did it, motherfucker. I'm not in the vehicle. It was parked. I mean, I am not at fault at all on this one.
Right.
Oh, man, I was so pissed, man. I just got that bitch. New car smell still in that motherfucker. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
Still had paper tags. People are crazy.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, we talk about being influencers and whatnot. Let's just say you get to that level. Will Smith just came out of nowhere and started doing this shit, and he's fucking killing that shit. I enjoy all his content and whatnot. But let's just say, you get to that level, which you will. But like, it comes sooner than you anticipate. I mean, you just there and you like, hey man, try this flat tummy tea or whatever the fuck. And bitches start buying flat tummy tea and all this crap. What would be the one thing that you would try to push on people? I mean, I ain't talking about in a negative way, but like, if you can just pick one thing, which all your influencer power, what would be the one thing that you would try to, influence people to, get into?
My answer is probably going to be a little jaded this week, because I've been listening to nothing but Nipsey Hussle for the past 4 weeks. So it would be that kind of message of like, guys, let's get it together. Let's get it together. Like, the people who are willing and able, let's hustle. Let's get on our physical grind. Let's start eating better, and let's start figuring out a way to save money for actual good investments. Like, let's start buying assets instead of liabilities. That would be the thing that that I would really, push. Like, yo, save 20% of your money and be ready to buy things. Like, I was so proud of myself to be able to be buying stocks at this time. You know what I mean? To be able to be buying shares in companies and following, like, no, this is what every financial book has ever told me. A pandemic is a gold mine for financially savvy people, because you're buying ownership in the companies for cheap. And I just saw a video today of someone asking an Uber driver, what you gonna do when your stimulus check? Oh, a stimulus check, shoot, $1,200. I'm gonna give me some Burberry. I'm gonna give me some Givenchy. Shoot, they stupid for giving me this money. And I'm like, I don't know whether it's a joke or what, but it's just like, I hate that. That video will go way more viral than anything that I will ever spread telling people to save their money or buy stock with their money.
Yeah. And it was like, with the message that you will want to put out there like that, which I totally agree with, we seen somebody try to do something similar to that and he got boo-booed on. I mean, he didn't give a fuck, but I mean, he put his word out there, and that's Jay-Z when he came out with that album, preaching some of the same practices that you were talking about. Buy paint, buy art, and all this other bullshit, and people boo-booed on him for that.
Yeah. I'm still amazed at that concept that someone can take a painting, sell it, buy a painting from a friend of theirs. So let's say you're a friend of mine and you paint. And I go, Rob, go ahead, paint me something. And you take a red strip and just go across the white canvas one time. And I go, thank you, Rob. Matter of fact, I support your art career. I'm going to give you $200 for this painting, which you're going to love. Oh, wow, no one's paid me for my art. Thank you so much. And I'm going to take this art and now go to a friend of mine who's an art appraiser, and he's going to put his stamp on it that this is worth $20 million. And no one can argue with that. No one can argue with that. An official art appraiser said that this white piece of paper with a red stripe through it, $20 million. And if I donate that to a museum, I have now a $20 million tax credit that I don't have to pay taxes on. You know what I mean? It's just like, so when you start learning how to play the game like that and understanding that this is how these other people are getting over, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a weird thing that start complaining about, well, this man's got his foot on my neck. And it's like, no, the information's there, bro. Like, and this past 3 weeks, I've read 3 books. I know the next 2 that I got lined up. I have not looked at a TV since week 1. I just knew. I think I watched like a few episodes of Tiger King, and I was like, nope, they're not gonna get me. They're not gonna get me to waste this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Looking at nothing. Yeah. And no disrespect to the people that are watching it, but there's a reason why something like that comes out the minute that we're all sitting around and that has everybody's attention. That's all anybody's been talking about. You know what I mean? We went from an impeachment into a pandemic, and it's like, I don't think America's even had a chance to even breathe and even focus on itself in the past 4 years. It's just been a goddamn circus between television and social media. I don't think people get a chance to think for themselves at all.
Yeah, 2020 has been rough. Everybody's talking about how shitty 2019 was. Well, I'm like, man, can we have that back? Can I have my 2019 problems back?
Yeah. World War III, this is crazy. Whatever.
I don't know, shit. And then our kids are out of school indefinitely here in Texas. It's just like, this school year is canceled. I was like, which makes sense anyway. It's already damn near into April, and they was going to get out in May anyway, so fuck it, But it's going to be an interesting time here, at least in Houston, because businesses are going to start opening up on Monday, but they still got the social distancing practices in place. So, I mean, they said retail businesses can open only if they have a curbside or, some kind of pickup service. No people are actually allowed inside. So, I mean, you can order some shit online. You can go to the store. They'll drop it out there. You pick it up and you go on about your business. But people won't be able to congregate in small spaces. I think they said sometime the following week, they'll see where we are and they'll entertain opening theaters again, movie theaters. And so, I mean, it's going to be weird here the next 2 weeks because it's just, I don't know, man, because I'm still iffy about the shit. I mean, I'm fine with everything the way it is. I don't like going really too many places anyway. All my shit is in my house, so I want to, you know.
Yeah. How do you think, now, have they done this in Houston, here in Philly, as well as in New York and any suburban towns surrounding it? They've installed the plexiglass storefront. So basically the same thing the Chinese people have had in their stores for years, that bulletproof, that's everywhere now. Any CVS you go into, any Rite Aid, Walgreens, Dwayne Reed, ish, right? And, you know, in the hood, we're used to that because it's been what it's going to be. I kind of enjoy seeing white people kind of in the confusion. Where do I put the money? This is ridiculous. This is not. And it brings me back to 2001 when TSA came around, and white people did not like being frisked or going through a metal detector. And it's like, we went through metal detectors to go to school, and we get frisked like this to go into a nightclub. I'm all good. Go ahead. You can touch whatever you need to feel. But like, it took white people a long time to adjust. But that was 19 years ago, and that has not gone away. So I don't think these plexiglass storefronts, I think that is the new norm.
Yeah, and I'm all for that, you know, because sometimes, I mean, previous this, when I was in Walmart, they had some people that didn't have some pleasant breath in my local store. So, I mean, they're doing me a service, you know. This, we kind of needed this, you know. It was a wake-up call, you know. And this just doesn't apply to corona. It applies to a lot of diseases. Because, I mean, if you're not keeping up with your cleanliness and all this other stuff, I mean, you bound to get some dirty shit. Because, man, I believe within this time that we've been doing this, I've washed my hands more now than I have in my whole entire fucking life. I go to the bathroom, I wash my hands, I touch my dick, then I wash my hands again after, you know. So it's just, and then I'll sanitize. You know, and if I have to sanitize my hands more than 2 times at work, I go to the bathroom again and I wash them bitches with actual soap and water. So it's just like but we needed it because some people wasn't doing that shit at all. Because I seen plenty of motherfuckers walk straight into a stall, don't even prep the seat, just sit their nasty naked ass against a bare foreign toilet seat in a public restroom and just go to town, then come out.
And that's that 65% that, you know, kind of got to get rid of, man. Like, we're never going to move to the next level if we still have people that have more primitive tactics along with them. You know what I mean? You're never going to get rid of, like, you realize the guy who raw butts a public toilet seat, that's the same kid that tells his nephew dirty jokes. You know what I mean? So, like, when you send your kids to school and they're nice and innocent, and then there's somebody that's doing their hair, stick your fingers in here. Let me show you something, right? He's learning that from the guy that's raw cheeking a bathroom seat. You know? He's tainting the youth, and he doesn't even realize it. You know?
Oh man, like on that same topic, I listened to a podcast with the New Day, it's a group of wrestlers or whatever, and they had the conversation, same thing like we're doing now about raw dog in the freaking toilet seat. And dude was like, his analogy was, dude, would you pull your pants down and I find some way to pull my pants down and I do a handstand and you put your ass cheeks on my ass cheeks? Would you do that? Like, hell no, I wouldn't do that. So why would you put your ass on a bare toilet seat? That's essentially what you're doing. You're putting your ass on somebody else's ass.
Yeah. But it's funny how some people, their minds don't work that way. Like, I never forget, I never really watched Friends, but there was a clip that played, and it was about how one guy was going into the shower, and he was just using one of the other guy's washcloths. Yeah, and he goes, you use my washcloth? Why do you do that? And he goes, you know, what difference does it make? And he goes, okay, think about the last thing I wash, and then the first thing that you wash. And you can see the look on his face of realization. It never crossed his mind that where this rag goes. He's just been using it. You know?
And then just like another when people just use the bar of soap and not a rag. You can just rub a raw bar of soap all over your body and everything, man. It's just I don't know. That's weird.
We had a conversation on this on my show Temple University, and we had a good mix of people. And my guest was Pat Dixon. This episode is actually available on my Patreon if anybody's interested. It's only $5, but he is. And I asked him. I said, "Do you use a washcloth?" And he goes, "Yeah, I do. Like a man." And I go, "Yeah, like a white man." And he goes, "What do you mean?" And I was explaining to him, I said, "Yeah, white guys don't use washcloths." And he goes, "You guys all use washcloths?" I was like, yeah. And he laughed. He goes, "Well, they weren't using washcloths in the commercial." And he was right. If you think back to like those Zest commercials and Dove commercials in the 80s, there was no washcloth in the commercials. Nope. I learned how to use a washcloth from my family. But if he's learning them just by watching TV, they were rubbing a raw bar of soap on their body.
Yeah. And then we use a washcloth, but do you use two washcloths? I use a different washcloth on my face than I do on my body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't always use that practice. And I was just like, and I came to that realization, just like how you said about that Friends sketch. I was like, wait a minute, didn't I clean my balls? And I learned that young. And I was like, come on, man. I can't be doing this to myself.
Yeah.
But, oh, man. People are weird. This whole humanity thing, this is some ridiculous shit sometimes.
Yeah. I've gotten solace reading. So the books that I read during this pandemic, I read Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond. This book really started from the beginning of man and just focusing on man's ability to domesticate, spread, some who settled, some became nomadic hunter-gatherers, and just it follows from about 40,000 BC up until maybe about 1940, and just showing the different ways different tribes were able to conquer one another, who was able to start farming and growing food, what diseases took out what people, and you realize, this is all a cycle, and you can kind of relax, the weirdest thing is pandemics like this have always started due to man's weird affection for animals. Once we began domesticating animals and kind of hanging out with them a bit too close, even when dogs just kind of became man's best friend, or, you got some of those other countries where it might be a camel or a sheep, but there's weird interactions that are going on where viruses that would usually live in an animal now reside in a human because somebody got a little too close to an animal in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? And, that's probably never going to go away. Yeah. Because we have. Go ahead.
Yeah. How did we get AIDS? Somebody fucked a monkey. That's what I heard when I was young.
I lie to you not. Again, a part of my special is that's one of my opening jokes, because I'm like, bro, we all heard that. And we heard that pre-internet, pre-cell phone. Word of mouth, that shit spread like wildfire. Yep. And we all kind of took it for like factual information. Now, I think what the reality is that AIDS was a disease that did live and only affect monkeys, but somehow, and man being close with monkey, the disease moved its way over. So whether somebody fucked one or not, I don't know. But
that's how that's how I heard about it. Monkeys and gay sex.
But it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me that a gay dude would have to settle for a monkey to get laid. I'm just saying, like, gay dudes are hot and they get other hot men. Like,
yeah. And I like your statement there, whatever. You're a man confident in your masculinity, and you're not afraid to give another man a compliment. I like that.
Yeah, you don't need to fuck a monkey.
Yeah. But yeah, and even like with the corona shit or whatever, they was talking about that went around because motherfuckers was eating bats and shit,
Eating bats. Yeah. That's what I say. I said it's hard for me to be convinced that someone, after putting in 12 hours at the Apple store making iPhones, will then just go home and just chomp down on a fucking bat. Like, I can't believe that kind of intellect and savage exists in the same human being.
Yeah. Cultural thing, man. I don't know. I've seen people eating grasshoppers and maggots and all this other bullshit because I don't know, maybe we was hungry and this is all we had. I was like, this bitch is moving. I eat a chicken and that move around, so why can't I eat this too?
Yeah. And that's how we would get diseases like salmonella from undercooked chicken or raw eggs and all that kind of shit like that. So yeah, somewhere along the line we doing some weird shit with animals we ain't got no business doing. Yeah,
and a lot of that stuff is found on the internet that I did not want to see. Well, I done seen some stuff with a mini horse that scarred me for life.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna scar some motherfuckers now. So I was on Twitter and I seen the dude. He was naked from the waist down, and he had this little pony horse or whatever. It came up to about his waist, so it was like preem fucking height. He didn't even have to bend his knees or nothing. So I was like, oh dog, he better fuck this horse. Yeah. So you walked around the horse, he steadied his head, then he laid on his back on a log and let the horse fuck him. I was like, what? I was like, man, this is some bullshit. This is bullshit. And I sat there and I watched the little clip on Twitter. Twitter is a toxic place too. It'll pollute your mind.
Yeah, Twitter, you can show whatever you want on Twitter now, huh?
Yeah. I remember there was supposed to, at the beginning of the year sometime, they was talking about changing that shit up. Kind of like how Tumblr was. You can find anything and everything on goddamn Tumblr. People cutting their balls out their nutsack and shit. And then they got bought by Yahoo and they cut all that shit out.
That's how I know I'm getting older. I can't watch that stuff anymore. I used to be able to watch beheading videos and faces of death and banned from TV, all of that kind of shit when I was a guy. I used to love shows like Maximum Exposure. Now I'll try to watch a video and I find myself turning away and just turn it off. You know what I mean? I don't have it in me anymore.
Yeah, it's because when you're younger, that you don't have as much fear as you do as a freaking adult does. Because as a kid, you don't have no concept of fear totally. Because I can remember jumping off the roof of my house and didn't think about, I could break my leg or hurt myself seriously. I was like, I want to jump off the roof of my house today. Mm-hmm. Then once you become cognizant of those things or whatever, that's when the fear really starts to set in. Like, oh man, because if I break my leg right now, my wife gonna have to take off work and goddamn, I can't do shit for the kids because I'm laid up here with this broke ass leg and everything, and then I have to get unemployment and all that. See, that's the fear that sets in for an adult. Ain't got no
somebody else's life get ruined, yeah.
Kids ain't got no bills and responsibilities and shit. It's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go head first out this window real quick. Yep. But man, it has been a pleasure, as it has been always, to get to know you and have you back on the show and everything, man. We're going to put a pin in it here, but before we go, let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
I'm Dave Temple across all social media platforms. So that's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. It's the letter I, the letter M, Dave Temple. And if you can't figure out how to spell Dave Temple, my material's probably going to go over your head anyway. So
you need to be in that 65% he was talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, man, we have fun Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do unpopular opinions. If you want to be a part of the conversation, DM me your unpopular opinion and your IG handle. That way I look for your request in the live. We'll have you on, chat with me. Every Monday, look at it this way. A Patreon, patreon.com. I'm Dave Temple there also. And, I have a video that I'm circulating right now where I'm fundraising for my book. I'm a little over 50% to my goal. But yeah, man, I'm looking for people to donate $1. So watch me put this book out independently. If you want to read the book right now, an advanced copy, I do have it as a top tier on my Patreon. It's there as a PDF where you can read it now and determine whether you're really on board with this thing or not. And if you don't have any money and you're like, I don't know what's going on, you can just stream my album. It's called Dave Temple, The First One. Just Google it. Google Dave Temple, The First One. and pick anywhere to play it, I will get royalties. I will get residuals because I own all of that, people. And that's what I'm trying to show y'all. We now have the ability, thanks to the internet and all of the tools, to create and establish ourselves the same way big businesses have done. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen more than likely even in your lifetime. But if you want to give your grandchildren an opportunity to be rich and party and drink and do cocaine in nightclubs all over the hottest cities in the world, this is the work you got to put in.
God damn it, I want to be rich enough so my grandkids will be fuck ups. Oh shit. That's a through line somewhere. I'm gonna have to put that on a shirt or something. I'm want to be enough so my grandkids will be fuck ups.
Yeah.
Yeah. But once again, man, you've been a guest of the show, which you know, because this is what I say the first time guest and whatnot. The door is always open for you to come back, but you already took advantage of that. You done came in, you done found a bowl in the cabinet, made you some cereal and shit. So the door is still open for you to come back again and promote. Hopefully your book when it's out.
Yeah. No doubt, man.